Ladies and gentlemen, hello, welcome to the show. And who forgot to open his microphone for recording the last video? Me, yay! How you doing? Hope you're doing fine. Hope you're doing great. Ah, as I just said, I forgot to open the microphone, so no audio went through at my last recording, so I'm doing it again. Abyss, quick run because it's gonna be a quick one. I've seen many people have trouble with this. This Abyss is heavily based on you having lunar reactions, at least a part of it, floor 12 especially. But let's just get into it. I don't wanna overstay here for a lot. So I'll see you in 3, 2, 1, here we go. There she is, the queen of NodKrai, the Archon of NodKrai. Let's get into this, I'm already here. Time begins when I hit F at floor 11, this is going floor 11 and 12. Let's go right into it. I'll get into the build of the characters later, but for the time being, enjoy the run and let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, see ya later. Okay, that one. That's one. And that's two. One rotation. Nice switch so far. Not feeling much choking from the computer. I forgot to, okay, whatever. I should have used Nubiled's E right from the get-go, because I would have another E here instead of having to use the burst, but whatever. One of these 3 go down. Okay, one more. I'll have to manually swap the teams at 12, but that's how it is, so. Can get me the crystal, thank you. Okay. That's that. Not even one rotation. Now I gotta swap teams. I have to remember the enemies real quick. So this steals like this, and this gets swapped for 1. Where's Nilu? 2, 3, and Lauma 4. Okay, go. Go, please. Time's ticking. Thank you. Why not? Now hit on the threshold. Now we have to wait for the enemies. It's this one, it's the one that shines and sparkles and whatnot. That's one. And that's two. Nilo's hydro application is really good. Please take that. No. And yeah. Sucrose, if you're not as strong, Sucrose, it's useful because her burst groups enemies. Can you just die, please? Thank you very much. Now the Y-Ops. You should use all the bursts as soon as possible, but it's not the point. Come on. Oh yeah, I have run out of hydro. Okay. Could you please use your E already? I'm losing a shit ton of time with this. There we go. Now you follow the hat. There, and here. I should rotate again, just for Flames to have his ability on cooldown. Pity I did not need to use the mini burst, but got an energy back, so it's fine. More energy recharge, always good. 1, 2, 3. Could you? Thank you. And then another 1 and 2. Perfect. Let's see where we are at. I think we're at, yeah, it's the last room, so go boss to the wall. Kind of a goner. Oh, I messed up. I messed up. And get ready on time. Thank you. Quick abyss. Especially because I have all the carries. So without the NodKrai carries, this abyss is much difficult, but not my case, as you just saw. What did they give me? Yeah, the domains. Okay. So, a quick rundown of characters and whatnot that I've used. This is Nefer. Remember that you have to add like 40 crit rate here, and some crit damage of the weapon. So, the true stats are like 93 and 320 some. Artifacts wise, Sky set, the flower is the off piece, really good piece. High EM, some ER, which is not relevant but it's good enough. the EM Sans, which I might be able to. I need another feather. I should re-roll this. Energy recharge in nefer is not the most relevant stat, but it's good to have. I would actually like for this HP to go into more crit rate and crit damage, but you do what you do. Also, another EM goblet on set, which was really lucky with double crit and whatnot. I still cannot re-roll this because I need two feathers for you need two feathers for sands, pieces, goblets and helmets, flowers and feathers. You need one dust only. If I re-roll this, all this attack could have been crit damage or crit rate, which would improve nefer even further, especially with crit damage. And finally, helmet with EM and some crit rate. Same deal. If I had two feathers, I would try for these HPs to be crit rate or EM. Preferably EM on the circlet because she's fine crit rate wise. So that's that. Nahida is the usual support for Dendro in the set with her weapon. And that's the artifacts. There's a quick rundown. EM, a lot of some ER, which is good. The crit rates, whatever they are, the crits are there. Nahida can crit, and especially if you had C2, but the relevant thing here is to have as much crit rate as possible and as much crit damage as possible. But what's mandatory is the EM and the energy recharge. EM with double crits. I don't have Sands with EM and crit and energy recharge, so that's how it is. EM goblet, same issue. Decent substats, especially this attack, which is not the most relevant, but I think a part of her does like attack, so that's good. And helmet then EM with crit rate a little bit, some crit damage, but basically what's important on her is the EM. C0, by the way, it's nefer C2. You gotta know, because else you'll be wondering how on earth my nefer is not doing that. I managed nefer C2. I think the videos are not up. I think the nefer summons are up. Test with nefer C2 is up as well. So if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that my nefer is C2. And talent, it's 2, 10, 6 because the burst is not mandatory. But the E skill, which the multiplier for the charge attack is here. I don't recall which one exactly, but this is the one that you have to it's this one. The multiplier is here, so you raise the skill. And Nahida, as I said, C0. No mistake, if you want to say it. Sometimes it's decent for Nahida to attack to trigger Dendro, to trigger blooms or other reactions, Dendro related reactions. The skill is at ground and the burst is as well. Now for Columbina, as you can see, you have to add 15 for crit rate for her passive. And as you can see, this is not a lot of damage, and she is not meant to do damage, and now I'll explain why. The weapon is prototype Amber. I could get her weapon, but I don't want to. If I need Columbina to deal actual damage, I can come here and get this one, which is not far from other weapons that give like hers. And this one also does give EM, which boosts your Luna related reaction damage, because Elemental Mastery is part of the equation of the characters that trigger the reaction. The main thing here is that I'm running prototype Amber. The set is the Obeyed set, but this is what it's maybe off if you think about it in the traditional sense. With Prototype Amber and Healing Bonus Circlet, Columbina's heals are actually decent. It's not at a level that, I don't know, Bennett or any other of the big healers can provide. But if she's low on HP, this heals for like 3k per tick, which is really decent. It's not 5k, 6k, it's not that amount. But since the amount of healing that you get on the character is dependent on the HP of the character, you will get really decent amounts, especially on characters that have a lot of HP. Why am I running Columbina as a healer? Because Flint's, as you saw in Abyss, the Flint's team with Sucrose and Inefa doesn't have a healer. So if Inefa's shield gets broken, I have at least a way to heal all the additional damage that I might get hit by with. So that's why I run Columbina as a healer, besides her applying off-field damage and besides her boosting lunar damage reactions, in this case by 37%. Next week it's gonna be level 10, so that's gonna be 40%. This way Columbina, besides applying Hydro Field, dealing some amount of lunar damage that will actually affect and trigger enemies like the Light Keepers, which are reliant on you dealing lunar damage. Plus, this way she heals. So it's an added functionality to the character, which and also, excuse me, because she does give 8 HP. She also gives HP. This weapon also contributes to her regular damage, her survivability, and overall makes her a decent additional function to gives her an additional functionality inside your teams. If you want to go for a DPS build instead of having a healing bonus circlet, you can come here, not here exactly, but here. Is it here? Yeah, you can confirm and hold up. See, this for instance would be an amazing piece for her, and this way I could get an off piece for, I don't know, for the flower, not the flower because it has a lot of crit damage, which is what I need, but I could get another goblet. Then you get a helmet with crit damage, crit rate, EM, and if you have energy recharge, even better. But right now I don't have one. I don't see one. Thing is, you give her a helmet with, hold up, like this one that has crit rate, HP, and energy recharge. If this would be EM, it would be even better, even more crisp. But it's not, so you do what you do. So you come here, you swap, and then you come to the weapon and give her this one, for example. This one is from the previous weapon banner. And now you come here to stats, and this is different. This hits different. The amount of damage dealt, especially with the bloom and whatnot, with the lunar bloom, with her charge attack and whatnot, it's much more noticeable. It's like 3.5 more times damage, which is something noteworthy. So, my 5 cents about Columbina. You have 2 ways to play her: a pure DPS, which has a different build, and a healing functionality that gets unlocked with Prototype Amber and a healing bonus circlet. Depending on what content you're doing, you want to go with one setup and you want to go with the other setup. That's basically it. In my case, if I want to run Columbina in a Bloom team, I have lauma C1, which heals. So I could go balls to the wall and get Columbina this setup, and it would need more damage. So depending on your account, you're gonna go one way or you're gonna go the other way, but both ways are a reality and a thing that you can consider. C0 talent I've shown already, but just to conclude, and this way we'll move on to lauma. Lauma is working with this. Lauma has a new set actually. Weapon is hers. Now she's running on Silken, and now I have a couple of things here. As it is, this setup is perfect, but if I wanted to go with Nilu instead of Nahida, I would have to give Nilu instructor set, because the Silken set on Nahida is it's not bueno, you know. Or I could give Nahida the Dendro set. Not Nahida, Nilu the Dendro set. But for this team in particular, nefer goes with the Sky set, Nahida goes with the Dendro Pierce set, Obate set with Columbina, and Silken with Lauma. About Columbina's artifacts, I'm gonna be quick about this because this is not a Columbina guide. But she can both run either Silken or Obeyed. If you run her with flints, you want the Obeyed set on Inefa. And Silken on Columbina. This is because Columbina can use the two-piece set much more effectively than Inefa. And Inefa, her basic damage is the off-field damage of the cloud. So the Obeyed set works for Inefa. Why I'm not running Inefa with the Obeyed set? I still don't have enough pieces. I haven't dropped enough good pieces to have a full Obeyed set, which is worth running on her. But eventually Inefa will run the Obeyed set instead of the Silken Moon. Who else did I use? Well, since now we're here with Inefa, this is how she runs right now. Pretty decent crit rate and crit damage, especially the crit damage. The weapon is hers. This weapon is really good because it increases the damage of your flints, her off field, and Columbina. So it gets a ton of value with the more lunar charge reactions that there are out there happening while she's on the team. Artifacts wise, pretty decent. Attack percent, crit rate, crit damage. Attack percent, ER, which is good. Crit rate, crit damage. Attack percent, crit rate, crit damage. This is attack percent, a shit ton of crit rate and crit damage. No words for this goblet, a shit ton of crit value in this. And finally, I could use either this one or this one, but this one has EM and some crit rate. I don't have other helmets with crit rate, damage, and EM, so this is the one. Could I reroll this? Yes, but I need feathers. I would need, for me to be satisfied, I would have to have like, I don't know, 100 feathers, and we're not gonna get 100 feathers all at the same time, so that's a no-go. But that's Inefa. C0, C2 is crazy. It's a monster nuke, so yeah, that's really good. And 8. Can you get this to 9? Yes, but at the same time it only increases the damage. You wanna burst because this passive gives you more EM, equivalent to 6% of Inefa's attack. I think there's a soft cap on it, so your Inefa needs to fulfill her purpose fully, she needs 2800 attack or something among those numbers. I'm still missing attack, but first of all, I don't know where else to get it because a lot of the pieces do have attack percent, so I don't know from where else I'll get it, but we'll keep working on it. C0 and talent, I've talked about it. So, who is missing here? Sucrose. Sucrose, which is running on this. This is low EM, but now I'll move on to Y. Energy recharge and EM is the only stats that you need on her. She has low EM because she's running Thrilling Tales for Flint. I always try to go from Sucrose to Flints to trigger the Thrilling Tales and the 48% additional attack. If you have to run Sucrose in other setups, you can swap these for an EM based weapon or ideally Sacrificial Fragments, which is the go-to weapon for Sucrose. 4 piece Verdes and Venereer. EM, ER. This one, do I even have Feather with EM rolling around? This one is on Kazuha though. This one is on Xiao. I could run this one because I don't run Xiao actually, so yeah, get out. EM, crit rate, EM. She has ER. Oh, she's got energy recharge. Well, why do you have energy recharge? Sans? Get yourself. Yeah, something like this. Doing improvements live. Okay, we want ER as much as possible, so you missed. Come on. Nope. Is it gonna be a Thanos piece? One roll in each? Come on. Oh, this is gonna smell so bad. Come on. Give me at least one energy recharge. Oh, I just burned a shit ton of instructor pieces. Hold up. Hold up. Is the okay? I'm trying to save instructor pieces for Milo, as I said earlier. Oh my god, this is so bad. By god. You know what, you're gonna stay like this, especially for Stygian, because in Stygian you need as much energy as possible, and this does have EM, but know that you can give her an EM piece, especially one that does freaking hit ER instead of HP and flat attack, which is fucking useless. I'm sorry for the cursing, but that's how it is. Gloves, goblet, excuse me, AM and EM helmet with some ER. If I have to be faithful to myself, get this in, and now she has like 700 ER. The EM, excuse me. The ER now is really low, but I'll test it out. C6 and the talents are basically irrelevant. You can leave them at 6 if you want to be more dedicated. Yeah, go ahead and level 9 on level 9. Since she's got the constellations, this is actually level 6 plus 3 from either 3 or 5. And this is level 7 with constellation 5 or 3 depending. What you have to do though is do the homework. Do the homework because when she bursts, she provides additional EM, which is good. And what's left? Who's left? DNF. I did not do Flint, so let me So Flints is working with these stats pretty decent. I would like more energy recharge, but he does his weapon. And artifacts wise, attack percent, crit rate, crit damage. This one has everything: EM, ER, crit rate, which is the nice part, and crit damage. This is the sand speed, attack percent, some crit rate, a lot of crit damage, and EM. For Stygian I use this one because it has 16% energy recharge, which is more useful, especially for Flints, because else you'll be missing on damage because you won't be able to burst at the first rotation. And Goblet, attack percent with crit damage. If I get a Goblet on set with crit rate, crit damage, and energy recharge, and possibly EM, of course I would swap it because I would be able to use another piece of set. But for now, the helmet, I'm really happy with this one. Attack percent, a lot of crit rate, and energy recharge. Constellation 0. C1 is so good, you cannot overstate it because it shortens the cooldown that you have to wait after you use the mini burst from 6 seconds or whatnot to 4, meaning that you can fit 3 mini bursts in every rotation instead of 2, and this also gives you energy every rotation. So this one, if when the Flint banner comes around, I'll be pulling for the C1, like mandatory. I don't remember what C2 did. It's an additional attack. If you are in a Sand and Gleam, it will give you Electron Shred on your enemies that he's hit for 25 total value, which is really decent, especially if you run her with Sucrose and Verdes in your rear, which you should. We're running Flints with Sucrose for the EM boost that Sucrose gives you. KtK is not as good as Sucrose, so use Sucrose. It's the best option for Flints. Then, to round it up, at floor 11, I used Nubillet, which as you can see is C1. Nubillet is a beast billet, actually. He's a monster. He registers damage sticks for over 100k with Farina's burst active and all the buffs active of KtK and Shilonen. Beast billet, no, not Nubillet, beast billet, because he's a freaking monster. His weapon, artifacts, the hunter set, insane piece. No comment on this one. This one is freaking crazy. Another decent one, HP, crit rate, crit damage, HP, crit rate, crit damage, EM, ER, so everything. If this was flat HP, it might not even be, it might be slightly better, but if you sometimes get vaporized or whatnot, the EM is not totally wasted. And lastly, the helmet. Could it be better? It could. As it is, it's more than enough. He's a freaking beast. It's a monster. C1 as you saw, and talent 1099. I could triple crown him. I would. It's one of my favorite characters all time. So, and I just saw Nilo because you saw her on floor 12 on the lower half, so may as well give the build now. You actually don't want any stats on her besides the HP, but the key thing here is that she's running the key of casting shot, which is her best in slot weapon, because the more HP she's got, the more this wall of text means that will calculate amount of elemental mastery based on her HP, and it will get converted with a multiplier and transferred to the characters that are in use. So, the more HP you have with the key of casting shot, the more elemental mastery you transfer to all the other units on your Dendro Lunar Bloom team, which is busted because it gets much more damage from all sources and for all characters, including Nahida and her E and her burst, which counts the highest TM on the team. In our case, I think it's no, it's actually Nahida. But since everyone gets boosted from the key of casting shot, it wouldn't matter. Excuse me. Talents, never mind. You don't even need to raise the talents because the triple E tab doesn't do damage. It just applies hydro continuously around you, and which is really good with Nefer because she's a ranged and not a melee character. So it suits her like a glove. Back to Nubilet and the team. Nubilet, I did run her with Furina, with Kazuha, which I should find eventually, I guess. Yeah, there he is. This is the stats. He does partially scale with attack, so the more attack that you have, the better. The only thing that you are looking for is energy recharge. I would like 160, but I don't have it, so that's how it is. Weapon is his. Oh, why are you in this weapon? Oh god dang, Stygian, annoying. Yeah. Now, this is. Come on, how do I make these mistakes? For the last Stygian, I swapped Durin with Kazuha's weapons, so Durin could buff Varisa for the last boss of Stygian. Which, talking about Stygian is up in a couple of days, so in a couple of days you'll have another video from me segmented in blocks with every clear, if I can clear, or I'll clear Fearless, upload it, and when I get the 3 dire clears, in case I don't get them right from the get-go, which might be a possibility, then I'll upload the dire video. That's how we're gonna work around, because my computer chokes. So now it was kinda choking here in Abyss, but if I do blocks of the last 30 seconds of each clear, if the computer doesn't choke, I'll record later, afterwards, and then pack it up in a single video and send it your way. Who else was there? Shilonem, there she is. Weapon is hers, with dire skin, much nicer. You want ER? Yes, don't forget that using Shilonem's burst is a time loss, is a DPS loss, even though she does hit with it, but you're better off swapping to whoever you need to swap immediately. The playtime of Shilonen is E, double click, get the crystal, get out. Why get the crystal? Because she's running Petra. This is for the Mawika team, for the Nubilet team. In Nubilet she could use Cinder City, but if you run her with Petra, you get bonus damage for 2 different teams and situations and scenarios, so it's much more comfortable to run her with Petra, and then you get bonuses in many other teams and whatnot. And the last one is Furina. By the way, Shilonen is C0 and the E is crowned, just for a quicker explanation. Furina, this lady over here, she has low ER, but normally she runs with Nubilet, so Nubilet acts as a battery for her, and normally she has the burst every time. She's running right now on Golden Troop, but you can give her Tenacity of the Miliastra, get the pieces, I don't know. I would mix and match until I got something decent for her, and this is good for Skirk, for example. You know, Nubilet, no, because he does not scale from attack. But if you have to use Furina with any attack scaling character, you can give her Tenacity, which is a decent option. It will increase her HP, and it will boost the main on infield character continuously with attack percent, because the E triggers Tenacity continuously, the skill. And if I'm not mistaken, that's everyone. She is Constellation 2, worth noting. And the talents 2, 10, 10. The burst you want to do, this is not mandatory. What I do like enough to crown this skill is the healing. Crowning this character will make your charge Numa stands, the healing stand one, heal for a decent amount, around 4k, and if her burst is active, like 7k per tick, and the ticks are not slow, are decent. So you can go and double crown her, it's totally good. And that's gonna be that. Yeah, I think I've shown everyone that I need to show. So, let me pick this up. There we go, nice. Get me in. Guys, that's gonna be it for me. Hope you enjoyed the run. I'm gonna time that and send it to YouTube. Quick, I think it should be 5 minutes, 6. Maybe I'll just check and drop it in the title. And now I do have the recording on, so audio should come through normally. Before I go, something that you might not know, or something that you may know, just let me know it for you. I'm gonna hit F6, which, if you know, it's Miliastra. I've shit on Miliastra to no end, and I'm still shitting on Miliastra to no end. That hasn't changed. However, what I want you to know is that you can come here, where is it? And the dummy, and click in this one. Go in, getting ready. And this is what has been asked for from the developers for years and years. I did mention this years ago, just a quick mention, because it's not the most mandatory thing, but this is a tool that you may as well know that exists. Get out. I only get into Miliastra for this. As long as we don't get Primogems, Miliastra is dead to me. So, what I want to do here, I still cannot do it here, okay. I think I got the DPS set up. This, while it loads, this is a DPS calculator, so you can test out how hard you're hitting. I cannot check that. Let me see. Character 3. Crit rate. Oh, this is not here. This is not the one I go back. Okay, character 2. Okay. Okay, she's running on the DPS set, not on the healing set. That's why I want to know. Get out. Okay, F. No, get F. So, what I'm gonna do is test out nefer, just so you know, you can test anyone here. I did 2 videos actually, and neither of them had volume. In that video I tested Flints, I tested Mawika, I tested nefer, I tested Skirk. I'm not gonna test everyone here because you have to get in and out, it's kind of a tedious process, but at least let's try to showcase nefer and where she sits right now. Remember that she's C2, so don't expect these numbers if you're C0, the difference is really noticeable. So, yeah, I forgot to swap the enemy. No, there we go. So you can see that I've reached 200k accumulative damage. You can just re-rotate and keep going and keep going. Really nice tool to test DPS out. Now you know how it works. I must say that, first of all, I messed up. But once you're done here, you hit U and you get out. And now if you want to test another team, go back. Come on. You would come here again and you would manually change everyone. So Skirk, Shanha, Escaffier, and Furina. Now I'm gonna showcase a little bit more of what you can do here and get the correct enemy. So in here there's a little guide and stuff that you can read. This part is the mandatory one. I've swapped the target from the Miliastra to a Rune Guardian, so this way nefer, for instance, would not lose damage for her having to go around because the enemy is too slow. That's basically, I'm telling you, that's the best mannequin that you can use. Now be careful with Mawika and Skirk, because Mawika and Skirk do not begin with her Serpentine Energy or Fighting Spirit for Mawika full, so you have to wait for a bit. Okay. And now, as soon as the cooldown is almost 0, we'll begin, and we'll begin with Furina. Do the full rotation, and then you decide if this is decent or not, and you decide if you want to use this tool or not, which is the main point of this final part of the video. The other day I managed around 210. Now I just shown you 200k. So in terms of damage over time, nefer and Skirk are quite on par. Depending on the situation, you're gonna be using one team or another. But this is a really nice tool with numbers and ways for you to get a visual reference for how you're doing. And finally, if you wanna get out, you come here and you could go to the map. Yeah, you come here and now you finally come back home. So, enough from me. Hope you found this video kind of useful overall. Now I'm gonna time to run and send it to YouTube. And for you, fella, thanks for watching. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you all in the next one. I've been KtK, and thanks for watching. Bye bye, fellas. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.